positions several times.
What was I doing when I was changing positions?
When you crossed your leg, you crossed it toward her, the opposite from where
Toward her, yeah.
Crossed down.
Mm-hmm.
And you went like this, but you never took your eyes off of her. Well, you looked down maybe when you crossed your legs.
When I was looking down, where was I looking? That was really tactical.
In front of her?
She was looking this way, and where was I pointing? I was looking like this. And what was going on out here? Why was I doing this?
The problem right there.
Stop.
I'm putting the problem out here, away from me. So we could look together at the problem. Really powerful to do that. Takes the heat off of you. You don't have to defend. If she'd been coming at me, my body would automatically have had to defend itself. It's just going to do that. That's what bodies do. They don't lie. So anything else you noticed I did?
You kept the pace slow.
Yes.
I guess I tend to want to rush through it.
Fix it.
Get it resolved.
Yeah, get it over with. Yeah.
Less is more. Saying less, allowing that bowl of silence to happen, because it's her problem. It's not my problem. It's her life. She's got to figure out. Now she's hit her own edge. Did I help her over her edge? She hit her edge of fear about going on this date. Can I fix that for her? No, it's her edge. Does she feel better now, having talked about it? Yeah. And it's seldom about the spot on the dress.
You also did not attempt to build her up. Oh, you're so beautiful. It doesn't matter what you wear. You've got that great blue outfit in your closet. You're so smart. Any guy would be lucky to have you.
Right.
You didn't do any of that,
Right.
which is a false comfort anyway.
Although it might be true.
I'm sure we know it is true, but it's not what anybody needs to hear. It's not what they really need to
She
hear.
needs to sit. She needs to get
In her
down
own
into the
stuff.
bottom of her jug and get down into her wisdom and get her own answer. It's not about me. Yeah.
You repeated back her points that she gave to you.
So here we are, we're in triage. What do we do?
But what if it is about the dress?
Okay, then we'd solve it. What can we do? And we put the dress out here. Okay, what are we going to do with the dress? Okay, we got the dress. So you want to wear the dress. We got 45 minutes. What are our options? Yeah. What would you like? And I might say, what would you like me to do? I'd ask that, but I wouldn't offer. I'd say, what would you like me to do? And that is a good question. In this case, it was a moot point. But in some cases, you know, if we're in triage and I gotta wear this dress, it's my wedding dress, I would say, what would you like me to do?
Or how could I help you?
I would even be more specific. You know, what would you like me to do? Boom. The more specific we are about the question in that case, the better. You know, so that's directive, so that they can come up with a clean answer in a triage moment. But that's a whole other kettle of fish. You know? So let me think if there's anything else that you might. So let's go through here and see if there's. I actually wrote down some of the thoughts here. So we let them vent, so they can get down to their wisdom. Now, what you might not have noticed in the very beginning when she came at me, we're standing up over here, I immediately went down to my belly. And I watched her go from to, I brought her down with my body. That, if you did nothing else, that's going to help solve it, somebody else's anger. To entrain them to us. We're tribal. We're animals. You know, you see one bird take off in a flock of birds, and the rest. We're entrained. We listen to one another's bodies. So if I start, she goes, okay, it's all okay. Right? And you might not have noticed that. So, now, if she came at me and I was triggered, if she came at me and she blamed me and my little anger body was triggered, I would have to say, time out. I can't hear this right now. I'm going to go in the other room and I will come back and talk. My mother and I, 2 Irish women, you know, we would have this little, we would come and be like a little cats. You see the cats romping across the floor and they run into each other and so they, that was my mother and I. And we would come together and be, and we'd both go back. We'd know, oh, we cannot talk about this now. And we'd go off into our corners and then we'd come together. A cup of tea? Yeah. Sorry, I called you an old bat. And then, you know, we'd come back. But we knew that that moment we weren't ready. We were too triggered. And so if you just have to go, not right now, it's going to be bad. Or you can do a repair. You know, you might have the happen, and you can say, can we do a rewind? And I've actually done, and gone back out the door and come back in, hi, how you doing? I'm glad to see you. And we've redone it. And you can do that. But it's best to just, best to say, I'm not ready, I'm flooded right now, it's a bad time. Can we talk in 5 minutes? Or 10, or next year. But whatever, I need to go get a break because it's going to be bad. Who is it that says, John Gottman says, that the beginning of a conversation begets the income or something begets the outcome. That if you come in, we need to talk, then that's how it's going to end. So if somebody comes in and says, you blah, 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 and you join in, you know exactly where it's going to go if you're triggered, unless you can bring it down. Okay, so if you get triggered, 5 minutes, you know, then come back. And then when you go off, breathe. Now remember the first night we talked about going into your body. Now, right, and remember, this is the most important thing. Somebody's come and they've attacked you and you've got all this tension that comes up in your body. You remember we did this the first night? Some of you weren't here, but, oh, it all looks so good.
Do we need to order 2 more plates?
Yeah, and it comes up in your body. Go, breathe, and say, I feel tension, and see it. And just breathe into it. And I say, breathe, almost see it. And let's try this now. Just check in with your body. Doesn't matter if you've got anger or whatever's going on in your body. Just check in with your body. Maybe there's some pain, physical pain, little anxiety, little tension someplace. Just check in with your body right now. And see if you notice anything that's a little tense going on. And just begin to notice it. And just pay attention to it. Don't wish it away or anything. Just pay attention to it. And if it keeps coming like that, if it keeps staying and won't go away, doesn't start to dissipate, if the air doesn't start to go away, then what you can do is to almost make it an entity that's breathing the breath. Allow it to inhale, allow it to exhale. So just see if you can make that little place, that tense place in your body, inhale and exhale. As if it's the breathing apparatus in your body. And then you start to get in touch with that breath, and yet breath is the gift that you bring to the other person. You bring that slow, even, low breath. Slow, even, and low in the belly breath to the other person. That's the biggest gift you give when you're listening to somebody who's angry. I'm going to bring us both down. I was listening, I read something about people grieving, and like a couple who both got the same thing. They've lost a child, and they've both lost something together, and often that'll separate them. And this thing I read was of the two people lying in bed. There's no words that can do it. There's no words that can help at all. But they would lie in bed, kind of spooning, holding one another, and they would breathe together.